to the Excellence in Action podcast. I'm Jennifer Mazin. I am, of course, joined by Superintendent Dr. Seth Young.
Hey, it's exciting to be here, and today is a really fun day. I know you and I have both been all over the district checking in on schools because our teachers and staff are back in the building, so it's just been fun to see the energy back in our schools. That's the first time we've had that since we started this podcast this summer.
And that's really the thing I noticed going, because I went to a bunch of schools this morning. The energy, it's a very positive energy. Our teachers, our administrators, they're all very enthusiastic about starting the school year. And so that's been great to see this morning.
Yeah, it's going to be fun. Students will be back next week, but it's always fun when people get to be back in the building and talking about what they did this summer. I know at a couple of the schools I was at, it was like the principals didn't even want to get started because people were just catching up, talking about the summer plans for the year, just excited to see each other. So it's a lot of positive things happening across the district today.
And it was neat to see all the different team building activities that the schools were doing. One of the schools I was at made cupcakes, and they kind of had different instructions that they had to use. One team had to put Brussels sprouts in their cupcakes, and so it's just been neat to see the team building activities before they kind of dive in to the nitty-gritty before students come back.
I know one school they are sliding into the new school year, and they were going down water slides. So looking forward to seeing the videos of the principal at that school, because they were having some fun.
Yeah, which is what you want as you kick off the new school year. And of course, one of the big focuses of this podcast is talking about the board meeting. We had the board meeting last night. A lot of great things happening across the district. One of the things that you touched on with our board was the capital improvement plans.
So we've had a lot of facility needs. We have a lot of school buildings that are in that 25 to 35-year-old range, and so they're at that age where they need roofing work, they need HVAC work, and so that's expensive. It costs a lot of money to re-roof a school or to make sure that HVAC is working in a building. So we are working to plan for what's next. This summer, we did the HVAC at Powdersville Middle School in West Pelzer. We did the roof at Palmetto Elementary, and we did a lot of roof work at Powdersville Middle there as well. Looking ahead, we're looking at addressing some needs at Wren Elementary, Hunt Meadows Elementary, Powdersville High School, Spearman. All those facilities have areas where we need to fix up the HVAC and the roofing. And the other thing we talked about with the capital improvement plan is we're wrapping up some pretty big projects too. We got to have the board meeting at Oak Hill last night, which was a lot of fun. I ran into you at Concrete this morning. I just have to give a shout out to Miss Porter, the new principal there. The building looks great. We spent a few $1 million doing some renovations at Concrete last summer, and then this summer they've spent time rebranding from Concrete Primary to Concrete Elementary, and the building looks wonderful. They did a great job, so excited to see families get to see how great Concrete looks. And then Powdersville Elementary, we did a lot of work on too. Shout out to Miss Martin and that team getting that building ready, because we've got kindergarten, first and second graders, and getting to go on the hall where we had classroom bathrooms for those primary grades, cubbies, the new furniture. And so as we had to do all those upgrades, that delayed getting the floors redone, and so the folks, especially at Concrete and Powdersville Elementary did a great job getting those buildings ready to go.
They really do look phenomenal for students and families to come next week. One of the other things that we talked about last night at the board meeting was how well the administrators have done in the Powdersville area, really trying to work to address traffic.
Yes, so until Oak Hill was built, for the last however many years, every school we built in Powdersville was on Hood Road. So that meant every family that had a kid in Powdersville was going to Hood Road in the morning. So opening up Oak Hill will pull some families away. We've also tried to reroute traffic around the middle school. The last couple of years we tried the entrance and exit on Havard Way onto Row Road. As people in Powdersville know, they're putting a Bon Secours Health Campus right next door to that that. So we've worked with the county, the sheriff's office. We're going to have some additional personnel with crossing guards. We're going to try to reroute traffic a little differently in the afternoon to avoid that dangerous intersection on Row Road near the health campus. And so if you have a student at Powdersville Middle, pay attention to the announcements that's coming from Mr. Williams and his team at Powdersville Middle, because we're really trying to be flexible, work together, and keep everybody safe. That's what we're trying to do.
Yep, and that's something that will come into play next week when we welcome students back. What other changes, before we wrap up, do families need to know about, or should teachers expect? What are some of those changes as we get ready?
So before I leave traffic, I just need to say, everybody needs to remember the first few days of school, traffic is insane.
Yep.
So let's just be patient, and it's going to work. Let's wait till we get to that second week of school before we really start getting too dramatic about traffic.
Yep.
And I have to remind myself of that too, because I want it to be fixed immediately. And so, but other big changes are, really, I just want to talk about something we're doing differently at our elementary school. Students at our elementary school aren't going to be bringing iPads home anymore, and especially in our younger grades, there's just going to be a handful of devices in each of our kindergarten classes that they're just going to be a resource. And when a teacher has a specific activity where using the technology could benefit the student, we'll get them out and use them, but we're not going to have one-to-one devices in all of our elementary schools anymore. So that means families aren't paying that iPad protection plan that they've had to pay for the insurance for that device at the elementary school. But I also am excited that kids will be doing more paper and pencil activities. They're going to be more engaged specifically with the instruction, and we're going to have a better idea of what students are doing during downtime, things like that. But those iPads are only going to be used for specific activities, and they're going to go back on the charging station so that they're ready to roll. That'll
be great. A lot to look forward to for the upcoming school year. It's hard to believe that it's already here.
It's exciting, and you know, late July, this is the third or fourth year we've done this new calendar, so it's still 100 degrees outside and it still feels like summer, but it's exciting to be starting school, and we'll be thankful when we have those breaks throughout September and October and fall break, that we're starting a little bit early. But exciting to get kids back in the building. Next week we've got open house at our middle schools Thursday night, and then Monday we've got open house for our elementary schools, and then high school open houses on Tuesdays, and then students come back on the 6th.
Well, we're looking forward to it. And if you missed any of our podcast episodes, just a reminder, you can catch all of them on our website, anderson1.org.
And at our next podcast, we're going to have a lot of test scores we get to celebrate. That's just a little
Lots
plug.
to celebrate, a little teaser for you.
All right.
Thank you for
Have
joining
a great
us.
start to the school year.